of my friends wanted me to counsel his son who was into drugs, you know, and he'd gone to this drug rehabilitation program. And he said, "Can you spend some time with my son?" I see I'm not an expert on this. So I said, "Okay, let me just give it my shot." So I went to his house, and this guy, he was quite a big guy. And when he said my son, I thought he'd probably be 12 years old, but this guy was some 26 years old. He had all kinds of tattoos and so on. And so I just walked into the house, and the son was there, the father wasn't there. And he was sitting next to me. I just nodded my head. I said, "Hi, I'm Karthik." And I basically said, "You know what? If there's anything you want to share with me, anything, please do feel free to do it." I said, "I'm nobody to judge you. I'm your dad's very close friend. And you're like my son. And I can never ever, even visualize what you might have gone through. Okay, so I just want you to know that." And so he was just sitting next to me, and he was just strumming on the guitar. And something, for 45 minutes, he was just strumming on the guitar. I was my patience was slowly wearing out. But I refused to get impatient. I was just sitting next to him. Then he strummed for another 15 minutes. It went on, 1 hour plus. And then suddenly he asked me, "Would you like a pizza?" Then I said, "Wow, this guy can actually speak, he can actually communicate, what? I'm not into pizzas, me, right? I don't take junk food, but I was forced to say, "Hey, let's have a pizza." I took a small slice of it, and then I was, eating that slice, and he was eating the slice. And for another 30 minutes, there was not even a word that was exchanged. And you know what? After an hour and 45 minutes, something magical happened. He's a big guy, and he came towards me, and he gave me a hug. And he said, "Thank you for not judging me." He said, "Thank you for sitting with me." That's what he said. And I was very overcome when I heard this, Joshan. See, I didn't do anything. I didn't even share. I thought I was supposed to share my profound knowledge. I just shut up. And I just sat in silence. And he just gave me a hug. And he said, "Thank you for sitting with me." That's what he said. And later on, when I left the house, he said, "Karthik, you're the only person who did not judge me." That's what he said. Last words he told me. He said, "I know everyone is worried about me, but I want you to know this. I will never take drugs again." So, I nearly choked, when I walked away. I found myself, I had some tears in my eyes. This was a stranger. I've never met him before, we hardly spoke a word. So, now, see, this was listening, and he was not even saying anything, but actually, he was communicating with me. He just wanted to feel whether this guy would treat me with dignity, like a real human being, and not judge me, right? So this one profoundly changed me, and it changed me, not him. And maybe it changed him. I don't know about that, but it transformed me. And so you can see, that's what I mean when I say listen without judging. Don't analyze. Don't think. Don't look at that guy's past, because you've got somebody who's suffering there in front of you, right? And we will never know. Only God knows what suffering he's been through, right? So the least you can do is don't judge.